if you would explain that a little bit, the necessity and how you feel what's been set in motion over the past nearly 2 years is going to benefit Vance Air Force Base.
Sure. QAV was a concept born really out of my experience, because in operations, to make sure that all of our pilots are doing things the same across the weapon systems, across the T6, the T38, the T1, we have this thing called OGV, which stands for Ops Group Standardization and Evaluation. And what they do is they make sure that our instructor pilots have the same quality of instruction and the same methodology across all of it. On the contract side, what we did is we have quality assurance evaluators, which are our instructor pilots on managing our contract. They work with the functional commanders to make sure that the contractor is doing things uniformly. So what we did is we stood up this organization called QAV. We put a lieutenant colonel in charge of it, who's now going to go be the 25th Flying Training Squadron Commander, Colonel Ford Brown. We're replacing him with Lieutenant Colonel Clyde Callahan. And they've done a fabulous job of bringing consistency in our quality assurance evaluators, and we're still working through it. It's a road, it's a travel, it's a journey. We're moving down that road. But what we're trying to do is standardize how we, as quality assurance evaluators, interact and deal with our contracting partners. And it's good for 2 reasons. Number one, for the contractor, it's consistency, and they're hearing the same story from the government every time, so that we open up the communications and we're better about it. Number two, from a taxpayer's perspective, we are making sure that the contractor is providing everything that he's supposed to provide in accordance with the contract. So that's a good thing also. And number three is it helps disparate quality assurance evaluators who would not normally talk to each other have the opportunity to share common experiences, so that makes them better and it makes them more effective and more efficient. It's like anything. When you're doing a function, it may be totally unrelated. For instance, monitoring a T6 engine change or monitoring a baby's diaper getting changed at the CDC, totally disparate, but guess what? The evaluation process is basically the same, and being able to share those insights and to share the understanding, I think, makes our team stronger. If it makes the team stronger, it makes Vance stronger, and ultimately, I think that the next wing commander will see the value of this, and I think the command will see the value of this, and eventually we will move towards the way of kind of spreading this out across the command.
And, you know, it has the benefit not only, as you've pointed out, to go ahead and streamline, improve the performance of the mission, but in the United States Air Force, as is typical with the military, you're tested, you're graded almost always, and that's certainly the course. Bases, just like pilots and airmen and everything, on a fairly regular basis, you're racked and stacked. You're tested, you're judged, and then you're ranked amongst the others, and that's an important process, particularly for training bases.
It is. It is. The meritocracy aspect of it, when you can then look at your total force and then say, he's number one. You know, unfortunately, there's got to be somebody at the bottom, but he's number one, and he's at the bottom. Right. But the bottom line, the guys at the bottom know what they need to do to catch number one. You know what I mean? And it gives a sense of competition, friendly competition, to make sure that you can improve and try to move up the ladder.
And it's that's a good thing that benefits everyone, as you pointed out, from those being trained at the location all the way down, finally, to the United States taxpayer, those that are footing the bill for that. Let's talk a little bit